everybody, and welcome to the Sky Spirit channel. How are you doing? I have been messing on with the settings. So hence, if you were logged in there, we may well have just parted company. But now I should be back. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Sam and Lynn and KLG and Mr. Steve and Terry. Good morning, Terry. How are you doing? I hope I haven't missed anybody. No Shy Sherlock there. Now, I don't know if I'm live on TikTok because I've been trying to sort something out and I thought I'd sorted it out. It says it's streaming, but I don't know where it's streaming to. So, if somebody could tell me if I'm live on TikTok, that would be great. And if not, I'm going to have to put it through my phone. So, we shall see. Yeah, thank you, KLG, for gifting those memberships. That was really, really amazing. Thank you so much. Right, so if you could let me know if I'm live on TikTok. If I'm not, then I'll go through the phone. But I've tried to sort out a stream key and it says it's working, but I don't think it is. Nothing on TikTok. Okay. All right, we'll just go a different way. I'm just gonna disconnect this because I have the technological power. I'll just shut that down and we'll go up here. Now I have, if you've been following the saga of how I am crap with technology, then you would know that, is it the 30th? Yes. I've been trying to get BT to sort out my internet and they've been really crap and they haven't bothered. And then they were supposed to ring, like I did a test stream last night with TikTok and YouTube, and I did a test stream just to see if it worked because BT were like, right, we're going to phone you at 9 o'clock in the morning, make sure everything's all right before you're live. And they didn't bother. So I thought, right, okay, I'm going to do it myself. And it hasn't worked. So we're just going to go the usual way. But I might have solved some of the internet problems. I don't know. Just bear with me. This is my trying to do things face here. Let's just go like that and see what happens. Right, I think we're coming live on TikTok. So we should be live on TikTok now as well. So now we see if we have internet problems. So if you've not been on this live before, you won't know that it's normally a shit show of technological problems, or it has been for a while, but I am getting it sorted. Oh, KLG, thank you so much for the gift memberships. That is so, so kind of you. Thank you. Right, okay, yes, and as Mr. Steve says, if you could save questions to the end, what we're going to do is today, I've got a new format. There was a reason for this, but because I've just messed it up completely by having tech issues, it's going to feel a bit disjointed. But trust me, one day it will all work out perfectly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump straight in with a collective reading here. Okay, so a little bit different if you're used to seeing something different. Right. Collective reading. This could be directed at you. This could be the answer that you're looking for, whether you have tuned in live or whether you're watching a recording of this show. Sometimes the universe works in mysterious ways, and you could be getting a metaphorical tap on the shoulder to point you in this direction. And thank you, KLG, we're freezing on TikTok already. So bugger is all I've got to say about that, because I've tried loads of different things. I sigh, I sighed. Right. Okay, we're just going to do it anyway. All right. Sorry, TikTok, if I'm frozen, but hopefully nobody will screenshot my frozen in a strange way face, like this kind of expression. Okay. Right. Collective reading. Here we go. We are going for 3 cards here. We've got some interesting cards. So I feel like if this reading's directed at you, this collective reading is telling me that you're feeling a bit of overwhelm here. Overwhelmed and challenges coming from every direction. Like being able to, good morning, Mandy, how are you doing? Enjoy your family vacation. Collective reading, I feel like you're being approached from multiple directions and you're feeling an overwhelm. There's like multiple tasks going on in the background. It sort of challenges how you're dealing with things. I love the way KLG is liking on that TikTok stream. Excellent. So it feels like what's happened is it's left you in a position, you're being challenged from multiple areas, and this is my juggler or plate spinner. And when he's up this way, he's like been spinning those too fast and they've all crashed all over the floor and fallen to bits. Okay. So it's like these two cards together are a real tap on the shoulder. If this reading is directed at you, if this is resonating with you, okay, what this could mean is that you need to slow down. You need to stop saying, yes, I'll do that. Yes, I'll do that. Yes, I'll do that. Okay, there needs to be some prioritizing done here, because what's happening is you're not being this, yes, I'm strong, I'm defending my rights and I'm getting my shit together. Okay, you're like this, it's like, I'm being attacked from all directions and I'm going to drop my balls and plates all over the floor because I'm taking on too much, because I've got too much in the air at one time. All right, now these two cards are confirmed for me by the third card, which is the Four of Pentacles, which is about balance and security. So this is like a little message from the tarot for somebody, loud and clear this morning. It's like, you need to put stuff down. You're taking on too much in order to regain your position of material and security strength, that feeling. If you look at that card, have a look at that card. This guy is sitting with these pentacles close to him. He's in control of his finances, security, thoughts, and actions. All right. These two are different. This card, Two of Pentacles upside down like this, is pretty much the opposite of this card. Balance, security, unbalanced, going too fast because taking on too much. Okay, and this is why it's like multiple things from multiple areas having to be dealt with at the same time, or multiple people are sticking their oar in and making you feel like you've got to defend your way of doing things. So what we need, the message from these cards, is this needs to be put down. All right, so we need to eliminate, not literally, we need to get rid of the people that are causing the problems. We need to basically just ignore them, or you need to prioritize what you're doing in order to put this guy back on his feet so that he's juggling but he's in control. Okay, and then he manifests as the Four of Pentacles, which is that, do you ever get that feeling? It's very few and far between, I have to say, but when you just like have a moment of clarity in life and you think, you know, I've got my stuff together right now. I am actually in control. I know what bills are going out. I've got this sorted. I'm on top of my housework. I've got this, that, and the other. You know, those moments that are few and far between when you might feel like that. Okay, that is this card. All right. So we need this to disappear to become this, so that you can feel this balance, this security. If I saw that question go past about the marriage being over, I will come to you. If you can type it in when I'm done with the forecast, I'll be able to spot it, because I can't see when the questions are just going past so quickly. Right. So that's a collective reading that might be directed at you, as I said. Now we're going to move straight on to a tarot forecast. If you're on YouTube, you might be able to, why is my, oh, I don't know why that's doing that. If you're on YouTube, you'll be able to see me put these cards down. If you're on TikTok, you have to rely on the powers of description that I will use to tell you what's happening. So what I do at this point is I put 12 sets of 2 cards down on the table. So we are going to look at those 12 sets as little mini readings. So we've got 12 mini readings to get through this morning. So what we're going to do is, I would like you to focus on a question if you have one right now, or leave your mind open and simply choose a number between 1 and 12. Hopefully the universe will manifest and use the cards as a conduit to give you a relevant answer. If you don't really have an answer, a question, sorry, or if you just want to join in and listen to what resonates, then just do that. And also, you don't just have to choose one number. You can have several. I like to choose 2 numbers myself. In fact, this morning, I'm going to remember to choose numbers, because I always forget. This morning, I'm going to choose 2 and 7. No, it wasn't. It was going to be 1 and 7, because I thought 1 and 7, and then I changed to 2 and 7. I don't know why. If that's actually a good point. When you're doing things like this, when you choose a number, there's always one that comes into your head first, And then you think, oh no, what about if I change it to that? Always go with the one that you chose first. So what I did there was I chose one in my head. Then in my head, I chose something else and I changed it back to the initial one, if you see what I mean. Right. And I've realized I've left a blank screen on YouTube so everybody can look at my cat hair encrusted tablecloth for ages. Enjoy. Right, let's get these cards down. If you're on TikTok, I'm just going to tell you. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Start thinking of your question, your query. Background we go. And just hold that thought in your head if you have one. If you haven't, just hold an empty head. I find that relatively easy to do, holding an empty head. And hopefully the universe will give you some guidance that is necessary and relevant to you. Okay, right. So we're going to go to number 3 to start with. So look, what do we have? The cards of number 3 are the Page of Swords and the Six of Pentacles reversed. So what do these cards mean when they're read contextually together? All right. Bear in mind your question. Now also bear in mind when I'm reading these cards that your question is unique to you and your life and all the people around you and every single thing that you've ever lived through, because you're a very unique person. We all are. Okay. So there's no sort of one size fits all with the tarot. You literally have to listen to the explanation and work out how it fits in with you. Okay, right. What do we have? I had to look at them again there. Page of Swords, Six of Pentacles reversed. So what we've got here is we've got a new start on the cards. We've got a knowledge seeker. We've got somebody who wants to step forward into doing something new or find a new way of doing things. But there's something holding you back. And it's an unfair exchange of energy. Okay. It feels like you are it feels like you might be giving out more than you're receiving, so it's not a reciprocated exchange of energy. It's like this card is called the giving and receiving card in tarot, and it's the, if you ever look at it that way up, it's difficult to see an illustration upside down, isn't it? This guy on the illustration has got a purse of gold, and what he's doing is he's sharing it out to these paupers here who are like, oh, we deserve some, we deserve some. And he's like, well, you're getting some, you're getting some, you're not getting any. And he shares it out. Okay. It's a card about whether it's a card when, if it's up this way, when you're in need, excuse me, when you're in need, you receive. And when you see somebody in need, you give. Yeah. It's that balance of giving and receiving. And it's also, you've got the scales there. Yeah, it's like it's that balance of giving and receiving. And think of it as karma as well. When you give out in energy, you expect to receive back in energy. Okay, but when we have this upside down, we're unbalancing those scales. So it feels like there is an unreciprocated giving or an unreciprocated taking. Okay, so we need to work out, or you need to work out, where is it that this balance is that's stopping you from your Page of Swords moment? Because look at that page, look how full of life and vitality the page is as he steps forward away from the clouds of confusion with the sword of knowledge in his hand, and he's sort of cutting through the clouds and like, yes, I'm going this way now, I'm going to do this. But there's something holding him back, and it's this imbalance of this giving and receiving energy. So the advice from these cards, okay, would be that identify where the unbalance is and then get rid of it. Yeah. So identify who is draining you, who is that vampire sucking resources of either energy, time, emotion from you, and cut them off. All right. Or conversely, we're not always the good person, are we? Are you in a relationship with somebody, not necessarily an intimate relationship, any relationship we have with anybody we interact with is a relationship. Are you the sucker dryer? Okay. Do you need to realize that you're taking from somebody and you shouldn't be? Yeah, it's not reciprocated. So identify where your unbalance is in giving and receiving in order to manifest your page who is the person that's going to move forward. We're going to move forward, yeah, but you need to sort out that balance. So that was number 3, interesting cards. So back to my main card screen here for those of you on YouTube. If you're on TikTok and you want to have a more fulfilling experience, join me on YouTube. That you will find me on at Sky Spirit Creations, or you can just type in Sky Spirit, I believe, and you will find me, I think. Right, we're going to go to number 1. I chose these cards, I think. Yeah, it was number 1 I chose, so I'm nervous. Yeah, and I should have been. Right, so we've got the Ten of Pentacles and we've got the King of Swords reversed. These are interesting cards because basically what we've got here is we've almost got a sort of echo of what we had before with our Page of Swords and our Six of Pentacles reversed. We've got that, but we've got it amplified now. We've got something more coming into the picture. Now, we often notice on this show that the cards often give us the same message over and over again. It's like, if you've got a child that's grown into a teenager, you will have gone through this with the will you tidy your room escalation technique when you're like, will you tidy your room? And nothing happens. And then, like, half an hour, will you tidy your room? Nothing. Half an hour later, please tidy your room. By this time, you're getting a bit fractious with each other. And then, as the day progresses, by the end of the day or the next day, it's like, will you tidy your room? And you end up screaming at each other. That's how it was for me and my daughter. And this is what happens with the tarot cards sometimes. You get the same message. First of all, you get that gentle nudge, and then you get it amplified. And then at the end, you just get like loads and loads of major arcana cards. Like, have you not noticed what you're supposed to do, for God's sake? So this is like the next level up. There's a negative energy here that needs to be got rid of. Now, this King of Swords is a negative situational person. Usually a person, I have to say, with it being a court card, but because the tarot like to be complex and nuanced, this doesn't necessarily have to be a person. It can be a situation, or it can be an aspect of yourself, okay? But whatever it is, it's a negative thing that's holding you back, all right? And with it being swords, if it's a person, it's usually somebody who can put you down with their words, all right? Makes you feel like crap just by the way they talk to you or talk about you. Somebody who can literally like take the wind out of your sails, all right? This is the King of Swords. He can also be at the extreme end of the King of Swords capabilities when he's reversed. He can be a very abusive character. Okay, I wanted to say man there because it's a king, but in tarot, our kings aren't necessarily men or women. Okay, they can be either, or any gender, in fact. So it's an abusive, potentially abusive person, or an abusive situation, or is it a negative aspect of yourself? Okay, whatever it is, it's stopping you from manifesting the completion of something to do with your financial security or your domestic security, something that makes you feel like this is 10 of Pentacles, great card. Okay, it's sometimes associated with, now this is a bit of a literal example, but you sometimes get this when it's about inheritance and just coming into money and that comfortable money flowing to you, all right? But it feels like it's being blocked by a negative thing that needs to be dealt with, right? Now, I'm not going to say that deal with this negative person and all of a sudden you're going to inherit loads of money, all right? It's just not always possible, is it? But think about how that could, I wish my cat would stop moving the curtains around with his tail because my, like, the light's going all funny. Think about how this could relate if you're not due an inheritance, but perhaps it's about finding more security in life, not necessarily money. Could be to do with housing, could be to do with your domestic arrangements, okay? But it's to do with a 10 is a completion. A 10 is when we come to rest and we're like, whoa, that was a journey. And now we're here. Yeah. So it's like, now you're here, but you ain't there yet because we've got this character blocking it. Is this you? Is it a situation? Is it somebody else? So what's the advice from these two cards? This needs to go. Again, we need this to offski. We need to throw this away in order to manifest that 10 of Pentacles, which is a completion, which is a feeling of security. It's a feeling of things having worked out. Ideally, it would be a massive inheritance or a win on the lottery. But what's the chances of that? If I could predict that, I would be doing this reading from probably the Maldives. So identify what the King of Swords is, reversed, get rid in order to manifest what's coming to you. Because this card is still there. That's the thing. When you got these cards, it's like, it's there. It's like knocking on the door behind this guy here. So he's standing right in the middle and it's like bang, 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 bang. Hello, hello, I want to manifest in your life. So we need to get rid of this. Yeah. Get rid of this to achieve this. I hope that makes sense. If it does, let me know in the chat. And by the way, subscribe to the channel or follow me on TikTok. That's what I wanted to say there. My head went blank. Okay, so where are we going next? We're going to go to number 2. Oh, number 2. Right. These are tricky cards. We've got the 9 of Swords and we've got the Fool reversed. Who chose number 2? Right. 9 of Swords, Nightmare card. And I mean that literally. This is a card where it sometimes comes up where you're having bad dreams, or because, and it's dreams that are brought on by stress. You know, them anxiety dreams where you're late for things. Or I used to have one where I dreamt I worked as a cleaner in somebody's house, and like I'd literally gone and just like sat around and done nothing, and they were out. Say like it was a 2-hour clean and they were out, and I'd sat around doing nothing, and then realized they were due back in 30 seconds, and like there was big piles of washing up. That was my cat just moved the camera. So there was big piles of washing up, and like suddenly realized they're due back any minute, and I start doing this washing up in the dream, but it keeps like getting more and more and more. The dishes get higher and higher, and the more faster I wash, the more dishes they are to wash, and these people are going to come back and realize that I've done nothing on the job that I'm being paid to do. That kind of anxiety dream, that's a 9 of Swords dream. Anxious dreams. It's about stress, it's about nightmares, it's about things that keep you up at night. It's about things that you wake up worrying about at 3 o'clock in the morning and don't know how to solve. And you know, you always do that, don't you? 3 o'clock wake ups, you never lie there thinking about how wonderful your life is and thinking, going over all those good things that happened to you in life. You lie there thinking about the worst things you've ever done and the worst things that have ever happened. And that is that card. So if you've chosen number 2, it is 2, number 2 today, then my condolences to you, because you could be having a bit of a stressful time. Now, what we need to do in order to move you through this time, okay, I feel like you need to have a bit of a sensible head on, because we've also got the Fool reversed here. What I would have liked to have seen is the Fool this way, which would have said, yeah, we're moving away from this, we're moving away from this. But with this being reversed, these are a warning duo, all right? It's like, yeah, you've got some anxiety and stress in your life at the minute, but it's like what you need to do, you need to take control of this, because you've just been sort of floundering around expecting things to sort themselves out, and it's time to put on your sort of crown, sort of, you have to take charge of this situation. You can't be not foolish about it anymore, but carefree. The Fool doesn't worry about consequences. The Fool just steps forward with joy and love and excitement and adventure in his heart, and just like thinks, yeah, it'll all be all right. I'm going to land on my feet. And he does. But this way up, he doesn't. When it's this way up, this is about somebody who is stepping foolishly into the unknown. All right. So these two cards together are like, whoa, put the brakes on here, because you're just like going forward with something and you're not considering the consequences. And that's why we're getting this feedback cycle on you know, you're actually sort of feeding into this anxiety. What you need is a firmer control and a firmer plan, thinking more about the consequences here rather than just stepping out into something and expecting it to work out. All right, so what I would suggest you do, the advice from these cards would be to look at the projects and look at the things that are stressing you out and look at how you can take more control over them. Or do you need to pull the plug on some of them? If you're unsure about how things are working out, exercise caution. Okay, the Fool reversed is asking you to exercise caution. It's not asking you to throw caution to the wind as it would be if it was this way up. Okay, Aussie Mel, how are you? I realized that you sent me a super chat the other day because I just saw it on something called YT Studio or something, so thank you very much. I'm sorry I didn't thank you at the time. I totally missed it. And if anybody else has done that and I haven't thanked them, I am so sorry. I'm just not down with the kids and I can't understand technology very well at the minute, so I'm missing things. But if you've got these cards, take control of your life, all right, to eliminate these nightmares. It's nice to see so many people on the stream this morning. It's great to have you here. We shall now go to, we're going to go to number 12. We're going to go top of the house, number 12. What do we have here? We've got the 5 of Wands. We've got the Page of Wands. So what do these cards mean? Right, okay. We've got you being held back by gossip and backbiting and things going on around you which are niggly. These, when we look at the 5 of Wands, we've got kids hitting each other with sticks, all right? The good thing about this card is that they're kids, so it's not like major issues, okay? The bad thing is that they're annoying. Look at them, they look like a cloud of mosquitoes with poles, right? When we put this up this way, this is like really starting to get on your nerves, right? So you're like, you need a mosquito net at this point to deflect these people with these sticks. Yeah, so it's like ding 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 ding, and they're just like really holding you back. Now what we've also got this card teamed with is this Page of Wands. Again, new beginning, new things coming in, messages about new projects, okay? But there's too much interference. There's too much interference going on for you to move forward at the minute. So we need to work on eliminating this and quieting the passage forward in order that you can manifest the page energy and move forward into something new. Now, I feel that this is also about receiving a message. The page is often a messenger, and the Page of Wands can be a message about something in the future, something that's going to fire you up, something that's going to make you feel really enthusiastic about a new project or something, a new project. But we've got these people around you. Yes, Tashel could be neighbors. It could well be neighbors, or, you know, just like, or family, or just like associates who are sticking the oar in, or are just like ning 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 in your ear all the time, or just like sort of being draining is the word that comes into my head. Draining your energy. We've got Wands here, so this is about energy, and it feels like, you know, little energy vampires, mosquitoes sinking their little metaphorical fangs into you and sucking off that energy and stopping you from manifesting this page moment of moving forward. Now, I also feel that there's a message here that's trying to reach you about moving forward. It's like there's news waiting to manifest for you, but it feels like you basically, it's being obscured by the interference of these sort of continual mosquitoes around you. So what we need you to do again is to eliminate these mosquitoes. Get the fly spray out and just eliminate these things. Okay, they are really, it's, you know, when you listen to too many sources of information and all of a sudden you're not sure of your own mind. The page is never like that. The page is like, they're always sure of their own mind and the way forward, because the page is a child and children don't overthink things. All right, what we're having at the moment is overthinking and over listening and over interference by other people and other energies. So you need to become more mono-focused in order to manifest your way forward. Okay, I hope that makes sense for you. Right, we're going to go to number 11. These are really nice cards. Number 11, we've got the Lovers, we've got the Nine of Wands. So what do these cards mean? Now, if you're looking for a new relationship, or if you're in a relationship and it's sort of in a bit of a stagnated phase, okay, or if you're in a relationship and you want it to move forward a bit, this Lovers card is a really interesting card, because it talks about the fact that there's new love energy, potentially new relationships moving towards you, or the igniting of a current relationship, so it fires more energy into it. Okay, so if you're looking for somebody new, this could be on the horizon. If you're looking to re-energize an existing relationship, this could be it. If you have got no interest whatsoever in relationships, there's another issue for you here, okay, because we've also got the Wounded Soldier card. Now, tying these two together, because remember we read contextually, However this Lovers card relates to you, and I'll get to if you're not interested in a relationship at the end of this. However card relates to you, okay, there's an issue with you being a little bit, there's trust issues, okay. The wounded soldier is somebody who's been through a lot, all right, and has put up barriers. Yeah, you see him standing in front of those ones like, you will not pass, like it's that wall up, okay. So in order to manifest the Lover's energy, in order to bring that energy of love into your life, you're going to have to let down those walls a little bit, or you're going to have to trust. You're going to have to perhaps make yourself a little bit vulnerable in order to accept that love into your life. Okay. And it can be difficult to do that. I understand that. God, it can be. But sometimes it's the only way forward with particular things like this. Now, if you're listening to me going, well, this is entirely irrelevant because like a relationship's the last thing that I want in my life, then why is that? Is that because your Nine of Wands energy is like super steroided up and you've just been through a lot in the past? I'm just declining that, Ashak, because I don't co-host because I don't know what it means. Um, so is it because you've been through a lot in the past? Is it because you've got walls up? Or is it because you've just come to a point in life where you think, I don't need that. I don't need that. If that's the case, right, why don't you perhaps try to let those barriers down? Just trust that maybe something will happen in the future. Don't be so like, right, I just don't want it. All right. Because you never know. You can't. Sometimes when we put these barriers up, there could be something that we would have really enjoyed or would have really appreciated. It doesn't have to be like an intimate relationship. It could have just been a friendship or something like that. But the barriers are that strong that we're blinkered. We don't see the people around us that could bring the great things into our lives. All right. So I appreciate the fact that some people don't want relationships. I really, really do. I relate. But also, it's often because of that, having been through things in the past which have made you feel like that. So perhaps letting go of those, even if you don't want to manifest a relationship itself, letting go of those walls that you put up, letting go of them. Brings that sort of energy anyway. And even if it's not another person, it could be just that you find that unity, that duality within yourself or within the friendship circle that you've already had. Okay, right. That was number 11. Tashel, I'm just reading that about trying to return the sender energy that Bev taught you. I'd love to know what that technique was. Interesting. Right. I'm going to go across to the screen again now. If you're on TikTok, you can't see this. You just have to trust me. We're going to, when I finish this TikTok, people, I will be going and doing the last questions after this. But in the meantime, we have cards 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and 4 left. So if you have a question in your mind, or if you have something that you want an answer for, think of it and think of a number 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Okay, and hopefully you'll get some insight from the universe using the tarot and the conduit in order to get some answers, because I sometimes don't see all the questions. All right, and I know it's important to people that they get their questions answered, but I will try to spend some time catching some questions at the end as well. Okay, so we're going to go for, no, we're not going for 10, we're going for 9. I just changed my mind there. I'm going to go back to 10 because I've done exactly what I tell people not to do. Right, what does 10 have for us? 10 has the 10 of swords and the 6 of wands. So really, yeah, okay. Right. These are difficult cards. These are talking about you going through a real time of difficulty at the moment, or having just been through a time of difficulty. One of those things where you feel like, that was difficult, that was hard. Okay. Um, something could have happened, an event, a relationship breakdown, something that's caused you issues. Okay. But then we've got the card of victory on the other side of that 10. So it's like these two cards together basically say, yeah, it's a tough road, all right? But it's something that you had to go through for your journey, for your life path. It was a necessary event, okay? It had to happen in order for you to be victorious. Now, that is the card of victory. That is the card of going home. I always do this and people are trying to see it and I'm like, no, 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 must keep my hand still. So have a look at that card on TikTok. That guy is riding home from battle with a wreath of flowers on his wand. It's been chucked there by nice people who were like, you've won, that's fantastic. Have a look at that on YouTube, okay? So this guy rides home from battle, having won, all right? What he's defeated is this situation, this sort of life-altering nightmare situation, things when everything went wrong, you know, you lost a job, or you know, you lost your home, or the relationship broke down, or you weren't very well, or just it was a bad time, okay? Obviously I'm talking about literal things here. Relate this to your life. I give you the dots, you have to join them. Ralph, I am going to decline your invite to co-host because I don't know what that means, and it means I can't see the screen when it's on. So basically these are like, keep strong, guys, keep strong, because you're gonna win. Yeah, you're gonna win the battle if you haven't already. It's like there is hope, there is light at the end of the tunnel for you if you've chosen these cards. And if you've just been through this is like, well done, you're now through it, okay? And you're riding out on the other side having won the battle. It was something that had to happen, it was something that you had to go through, okay? You can relax. And I've got a funny hat on TikTok. Fantastic. You can relax because you're going to come out of this victorious. Okay. I'm just reading the chat there. I know I shouldn't, but it's so interesting. And it helps to use Florida water from Peru. I like the sound of that. Mira, that sounds great. I'd love to know more about that. Okay, going back over to my big screen. If you're on YouTube, you'll see it. If you're not on TikTok and you're on TikTok, I have to tell you, if you're on TikTok, you can join me on YouTube. It's at Sky Spirit Creations, where you might get a more holistic experience. Plus you get other videos. Right, so we have got, oh, number 9. Sorry, did I tell you it was number 9? Number 9, we've got the Three of Cups reversed and we've got the Page of Pentacles reversed. So what do these cards mean? Right, somebody's been partying too hard, or like burning the candle at both ends. That's your Three of Cups, okay? It can also mean that you're a bit burnt out. It's like that burnout. It's if you are a person that suffers from mood swings and you have a really, really powered high up, okay, when you like crash off the end of it, that's your Three of Cups reversed. It's like Three of Cups this way is life and soul. I've got the energy and I'm here to party, okay? And I'm going to overindulge as well because that's what I want to do. When it's up this way, it's like I have suddenly got no energy whatsoever. I'm completely burnt out. My mood has suddenly crashed, or I have overindulged and now I feel like crap. All right. Relate that to your life as you wish. That is number 9. Okay. So we've got a situation of burnout. Now, with the Page of Pentacles reversed, this is often to do with problems at work. So a literal reading of these two cards. Remember, I'm doing generic readings here, so you have to relate these to your life. This is a potential literal reading. Could be you've been overdoing it, you're burnt out, and it's causing problems at work. This card is also sometimes associated with unemployment and getting the sack. So if you saw these cards and you were like, yeah, I've got to like focus more and stop like partying because it's affecting my work, could relate to your university, could relate to your school, could relate to just you taking your eye off the ball because you're too involved in something else. This card I often see when people have got that sort of ADHD brain, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way because I am like this. It's like you start something and you start something else and you start something else and you start something else, and you're like, you don't get anything finished because you're going from one thing to the other, to the other, to the other, to the other, and you get more and more and more into it, and then all of a sudden you go, but I've done nothing and nothing's worked and nothing's working out for me. That's your Three of Cups reversed moment, okay? And then that would manifest as none of those things happen. The Page of Pentacles reversed. We've got a problem here with tasks. We've got a problem with work if it happened at work. We've got a problem with friends if it happened with friends, socializing, home, anything where you've just been sort of burning the candle at both ends and flying from thing to thing or overindulging, okay? It then causes this, I'm going to use a word that probably doesn't exist here, unmanifestation. Is an unmanifestation of forward motion, yeah? It's like you're not achieving the page potential because of the burnout. So it's okay knowing what these cards are sort of pointing out, but what do they mean? What is the fix that they offer us? All right. And the fix is really simple here. It's we need to bring the joy back into our lives, all right? And that's going to take some focus on what that joy actually is, because a lot of times when you've got that scattered brain mentality, you're seeking, you're searching for the thing that gives you the boost, the thing that makes you feel the happiest, all right? So what we need to do is find the thing. You need to find your thing, okay? Means a process of elimination. It means looking at the things that you do that are time consuming or energy consuming, but don't bring you that joy. All right. You need a more narrow focus in order to manifest our Page of Pentacles energy, which is success at work, which is feeling like a rejuvenated energy in being able to create things, being able to manifest things, feeling more grounded, I would say, and full of energy to move forward. Okay, because when you get that reversal of those cups like that, it's like all your energy is poured into the ground and it's all seeping away. Okay, we need these cards this way up, so we need focus on you on less things to achieve that forward momentum. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you. If it does, then you could let me know in the chat. If it doesn't make sense to you, then just don't let me know. No, you can let me know in the chat as well. Right, all right. So we're going to go to the cards again if you're on YouTube. So we're going to go for number 4 now. Number 4, what do we have? Oh, I love these cards. I love these cards. I really do. Right. We've got the 10 of Cups reversed and we've got the 8 of Cups. Oh, right. I love these. These are really quite poignant cards for somebody. So if you've chosen, if you chose, what's the right grammar there? I'm not sure. If you've chosen number 4, then this is for you. Right. You need to leave. This is emotional. It's cups. It's really clearly emotional. Could be about your love life, relationships, or just how you feel about your life and yourself. Okay. You're leaving something behind. You're cutting ties with something. You're walking away and you're not looking back. Yeah. It feels like we've got a 10 of Cups reversed here. So it feels like there's something completing. It's the end of a relationship or it's the end of a phase of a relationship. All right. And you're walking away from that particular phase, but it doesn't feel like it's done in a sad, regretful way. All right. It might feel at the time, it might be a bit of a, these things hurt. Okay. But it feels like you really got it into your mind. This ain't right. Yeah. Or this part of my life isn't right. I need to leave it behind in order to manifest the actual true completion and the sort of the final resolution of the emotional situation, getting to where you want to be. Now, that 10 of Cups is associated with emotional commitment. It's associated with a fulfilled relationship, either with yourself or others. It's also associated with marriage and commitment and things like that. When we see these like this, it's like you've had to leave something behind in order to move forward, but it feels like it's the right thing to do because it signifies the end of a cycle, and what you've got the potential for is to reach the mecca of your emotions, which is whatever you aspire to achieve on a relationship level, whether that is with yourself or with somebody else, something external. It can be achieved, yeah, but you have to focus on this for now, which is you have a look at that card, have a look on TikTok, have a look on YouTube. We have this guy who walks away from these cups. He does not look back. He heads for the mountains. Mountains in tarot are about a challenge. But when you climb to the top of the mountains, what happens? You can see so clearly. And it's like, think of this as, have you heard of the Akashic Records? Okay. Imagine if you had a library of everything that you've ever done in your life, everything that's happening and everything that you will ever do. It's all written in these wonderful books, all right? All in this big library. And all that you have to do in order to know what will happen in the future or understand your choices in the past is go into the right book, leaf through and go, oh, yeah, oh, Of course, yeah, it's also clear now. That's your Akashic records. Now, imagine that you can see when you get to the top of these mountains, you can look over this library of books and you can pick past, present, future. You can read about your motivations from the past, why certain relationships ended as they did, why things had to be as they were, and what you can expect from the future. That is what happens when you get to the top of the mountains in this card, with this card energy, I should say. All right. So this is really important. This is really poignant for you, these two cards together. It's like something's completing. Focus on moving away. Focus on climbing to the top of those mountains where you'll be able to view your life, past, present, future, spread out in front of you. Look at it objectively. Then choose what you read and choose your direction, because the potential of this card is in front of you, the potential to achieve your emotional fulfillment. Okay. I'm just reading about that Peru water on the chat on YouTube. That sounds fantastic. I must more investigate that. Thing is, I can't see the chat once I finish this. It all disappears. So this is why I'm like constantly trying to read it as it's gone past. Because once it's done, and it just disappears, and I can't read it. So I'll try and see that. I'll try and remember that. Right. Okay. We're going for number 5, isn't it? Number 5. We have got the Tower reversed. The Empress reversed. Who chose number 5? Right. What we've got here is avoidance. You're avoiding a potentially damaging and hurtful situation, something that's quite life-changing. This is a tower. The tower is a feared card in the tarot, I've got to say, because just look at it. It's like, whoa, there's a tower being struck by lightning. It falls to the floor and everybody's jumping out like going to be dashed to pieces on the ground. But think about what happens when a tower is knocked to the ground, okay? It's often rebuilt unless you're living in an area where the council are really tight, and then it's just left as rubble. But usually it's rebuilt. Now if you had your head screwed on, what you do is, if a tower is a bit wobbly, you knock it down and you'd rebuild it from the foundations up, wouldn't you? And you'd rebuild it stronger. Especially if you've read The Three Little Pigs, you wouldn't build it with straw or sticks, would you? You'd be building it with bricks, and then no wolves are going to come and blow it down, right? So think about the tower like this. It's like sometimes things have to be knocked down in order to be rebuilt. So sometimes if you're like going forward, for example, literal example, you're in a relationship, you don't want it to break up, all right? You'd be really upset if it broke up, but it's built on really shaky foundations. So in actual fact, it needs to go. We need rid of it, all right? But you cling on to it. So you end up in this perpetuated cycle of being in a relationship that doesn't work and not being happy, always waiting for it to change, and it never bloody will, because this is what happens. Yeah. So what we're talking about when we see the tower this way up is the avoidance of this burn, of this let's blow things up and build them again. Okay. Now, what we've also got here, the reason that I'm reading this card in this context, is the Empress reverse. The Empress, this way up, is about somebody who manifests her dreams. She is the creator, the nurturer, the person who, she's like the mother of the tarot deck. She's about fertility. And that doesn't necessarily just mean about getting pregnant. It's about being pregnant in your life, being that person who brings into life new things. When she's upside down like this, she's restricting herself from bringing new things into her or his. We don't do gender in tarot. So it's like you're restricting from bringing new things and birthing new situations and people and events into life because you're clinging on to something that needs to go. All right. These are also, note, these are 2 major arcana cards. So if you chose number 5, it's time to get your shit together, okay? Because this is like a loud, hello, number 5, come in and take note, please. It's like your cards are being called here. It's time to take action, because when you see this card this way up, the tower, it's like, how long have you sat waiting for things to change without taking charge of it and doing it yourself, without knocking those things down and starting again? All right. These 2 cards mean you need to take charge. You need to be in charge of this situation. You might need to blow the whole thing out of the water in order to rebuild, and that will bring your empress back to this way up, and then you can rebuild. Okay, you can rebuild stronger. So be brave in this situation if you chose number 5. Right, number 6. Number 6, what do we have? We have that Knight of Swords and we have the Eight of Pentacles. So what do these cards mean? If you chose number 6, we have got something moving very quickly for you. Could be to do with education, could be to do with learning new skills, all right? But I see you as being somebody who's on a mission at the minute, or somebody who's about to go on a mission, somebody who's going to move very, very fast. Now, nights are often events as well. So this is something that happens fast. Look how fast the Knight of Swords is. He gets on his horse and he gallops in, okay? Gallops into your life. Now, tying this with the Eight of Pentacles, which is often about learning, education, being recognized for your skills. This talks about moving fast, skilling up. Is that a phrase? Upskilling. That's what I'm looking for. Upskilling, learning something quickly in order to move through this portal. I call the Eight of Pentacles a portal card because this door is waiting for you to move through it. And it feels like now is the time to do that. All right. So if you've been hanging back, waiting for something to happen, it's time to get on your horse. So shall you pick number 6? Okay, it's time for you to get on your horse, get those reins and give your horse a bit of a dig with your feet, not too hard because we like horses, and start that gallop, okay? There might be some things you need to learn along the way. There might be some things that you need to upskill, all right? But that door, that portal to the next level, something that you've been looking for, is really, really close. It's at hand, all right? But it's time to take action. It's time to move with that flow or initiate that flow yourself, all right? The Knight doesn't wait around for something to happen. The Knight just makes it happen, all right? So if you're going, yeah, well, I'd like things to happen, but it ain't doing it, then it's time for you to push forward with something, because that portal card is really poignant. It's ready, all right? It's waiting. It's time. Now, Ratto, I'm looking at your card here. Will I get an internship this year? This could be relevant to this hand that I've got at the moment, talking about it's forward motion. It's happening now. It's to do with learning. Is that an internship to you? So that could be answering your question. Interesting that I saw it come up on the screen when I'm looking at these cards. Again, look how for different people, these cards mean different things, okay? I give you the dots, you have to join them. Right, we're going to go to number 6 now. Number 6, yay! We've got the 7 of Pentacles. We've got Kaz's cabbage man. The cabbage being man has made his appearance. And we've got Judgment reversed. So what do these cards mean? Right, the 7 of Pentacles is a very, very favorite card of the channel. So what we've got is, I'm going to put them this way because I think this is important to look at first. We've got a time where there's a decision on the table. If you've chosen number 7, isn't it? There is I can't speak. There is a decision that needs to be made, all right? There's something which you need to choose. It comes to the time. Kaza, he's calm, he's here for you. The man is here, he's arrived. So it's time that you judged your situation realistically, because it's like a crossroads moment. That Judgment card is very often about standing in judgment of your life and choosing either one way or another, all right? Because one way is going to lead to a lot of work but a great harvest, all right? It's like one of these ways that you can take might seem like the easy road. At this point, you're being asked not to take the easy road, but to look long term, okay? Look longer term and sort of, it's like playing the long game. These cards are like a little nudge to, okay, think about playing the long game rather than going for instant grats. Okay, you've got a choice to make. It feels like you can either choose the easy way or the hard way, but it feels to me like the hard way, although if you look at this guy, he's actually a gardener or a farmer, and he's planted these seeds and then he waits for his harvest to grow, and then he picks it all and he eats well for the entire winter. So basically, it's about patience. It's the patient nurturer. Yeah. So it's like you might choose a road where you think, yeah, well, that's going to take years and I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to go back to college and do this. And I'm going to have to sort this out and do this. But it feels like the harvest from that, what you get back from that, just might be what you've been looking for. Okay. It's like choose the harder road at this point because you need to look longer term rather than just going, "Yeah, I'm just going to take the easy way here and just take the instant grats." Okay. Because you might be missing out something really, really important in your life. I will come to questions at the end, people that are putting them in on TikTok. We just need to go through one more card here, which is number 8, isn't it? Number 8. And Salah, I'm going to decline your offer to co-host because I don't know what it means. Oh, these are really good cards. Who chose number 8? Okay, these are dark. I don't mean that in a bad way before anybody gets worried. We've got the 3 of Swords here, and we've got the Devil reversed. Wow, what do these cards mean? Has anybody chose number 8? Let's have a look. Right. What we've got here, if this resonates with you, then listen very carefully because we've got a broken heart on the scene here. We've got a broken heart, and this is how you feel at the moment. But we've also got a little bit of a sort of, a poke in the eye from the tarot going, well, your heart might be broken and you might be feeling pained with things, but it's like it's pretty much on your own head. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's like the tarot is saying, okay, well, that's because you've allowed this devil in to break your heart. Now, I don't mean literally that you've sold your soul to Satan here, and now you're suffering for it. It's like when you see the devil like this, it's about oppression, it's about addiction, it's about remaining in a negative mindset, allowing yourself to go down the same pattern, practicing, good morning, Patricia, practicing addictive behaviors, doing the same thing the same way over and over again, expecting the same outcome. It can also be about an attraction to somebody which is based purely on the physical, if you know what I mean. And perhaps the physical is really good with them and tempts you as the devil does, but they're toxic. Yeah, it's a toxic attachment. So these cards are like, okay, you might be feeling brokenhearted and upset about your life at the moment, all right? But it's because you've bound yourself to this devil. Whatever this toxic devil indicates in your past, it's something which needs to be got rid of. It's something that you need to cut ties with. We need to cut ties with any devil situations that hold us back. And it feels like you're not doing that. Now, this card is poignant because it has the lovers on the bottom. You see the lovers down the bottom of the card chained to the devil. Now, what you'll notice if you look at this card's illustration, it's the Rider-Waite deck. Well, this is actually the Golden Universal deck, but it's based on Rider-Waite. You'll notice that they're chained very loosely. That's to indicate that they can take those chains off themselves, all right? They choose to remain chained to the devil. And we often do that, don't we? We put ourselves in these toxic relationships and toxic situations, and then we just stay there. And then we moan about it. And it's like, either put up or shut up. All right. It's like, get rid of this. Move away from that toxic thing if that's what is holding you back. If that's a job, if you don't like it, dump it. There's loads of jobs. Life is too short. Okay. This is a card that's like a kick up the ass. Get rid of this devil. Whatever it is that's toxic, that's holding you back. Is it yourself? Are you addicted to something? The devil's associated with addiction. The devil's associated with physical relationships, which are very one-sided. The devil is associated with toxic trauma bonding. Okay. But the power is in your hands. With this being reversed, it's like, okay, what are you doing? Why don't you get rid of this? Yeah, get rid of this. You can, because it's breaking your heart. Now, the good thing about the 3 of Swords is that it's not just like, oh, your heart's broken, right? That's not how the tarot works. This is a 3. Threes are about change because you've got 2 swords, okay, which can pierce you, but you're handed a 3rd one. And the 3rd one, thank you for the gift. Thank you very much. I don't know what it is and I don't know how to work that, but it sounds wonderful. Thank you. if you have sent a gift and you're on TikTok, I should say this, then please put your question at the end and I will try to get to mods. I don't know if you can see if people have sent gifts, if you pinned their questions. I don't know if that's possible. We shall see. So back to the card. You're being handed a third sword, and that is your powerful sword. Sword of power to cut the ties to this devil, all right? Releasing your broken heart. So these two cards, the narrative between them is awesome. It's really empowering, okay? But it's about you taking that third sword out of your heart and using it to cut the ties to the thing that brought you the heartache in the first place. I would have really liked to have finished that without stumbling over my words, but there we are. Right, okay, so I'm just going to shuffle the cards here. And if while I'm shuffling them, if you do have a question, now might be the time to put it into either the YouTube chat or the TikTok chat. And I thought I had these sorted out so they were going to work together, but clearly I am technologically challenged and it didn't work at all. But I'm a step forward anyway, because I think, am I right in thinking that the stream has been less glitchy today? Because I know I got a couple of messages off KLG to start with saying that it was glitching, but it feels like nobody said anything. So either everybody's just disappeared and ignored it, or maybe it was better. Maybe it was better. Right, okay. Freya, can you pick me a card? Freya, I can. Let's have a look. Freya, I'm going to pick you 2 cards. All right, so Freya, we've got you as the Queen of Pentacles coming up. It could be that you're feeling a bit disempowered. And I've also got the fact that you're feeling like something hasn't got off the ground, or you're waiting for something to start. You're waiting for a new start in life, but you're the Queen upside down at the minute. So you're the queen that's lost her crown because she's tumbled out of her chair. So in order to manifest the new start that you want, now this is also about fertility as well, but when we talk about fertility in the tarot, it's not necessarily about getting pregnant. It's about starting that new creation, new drive. In order to do that, we need you to manifest your crown back on. So you need to be this way up. All right, so it's about taking charge. It's about being sovereign over your life. But the third card that I pulled for you, Freya, is the Sun. So this is like literally the most favorable card in the deck. So it's saying, okay, if you straighten your crown, if you put some determined effort into this new start, all right, you've got the sun shining on you. So you're heading into something which is like really, really going to be a really good phase in your life. But we need you to sort of stop being complacent and stop waiting around for it to happen. Be the queen, be sovereign, decide what you want and go for it. Okay. Elephants are pink. Will my ex ever reach out to me? Let's have a look. And listen to my dogs. The dogs of truth are barking in the background, which means that either my parents are here or somebody's knocking on the door. Just bear with me. I'm just going to stand up and have a look. Parents have arrived. Okay. So we've still got some time left for a few questions. So we will have a look. Right. So will my ex ever reach out to me? Elephants are pink. Let's see what the cards have got to say. Right. I don't think they're going to, and I don't think you want them to. And it might feel like you want them to at the minute, but I mean that isn't that you don't want them to, okay? Because what I've got here is I've got the Knight of Cups reversed, which is saying this isn't the person for you, all right? I've got the Tower reversed, which is like you could have dodged a bullet here. And then I've got the Six of Pentacles reversed, which is talking about the fact that this is one-sided. It feels like this person drained you, okay? Took from you without giving back, okay? So, I mean, I love to give you good news. If people ask me, is my ex coming back or am I gonna, I love to say yes, but I don't shy away from saying no either, because sometimes it's for your own good not to be contacted by an ex. I feel like you need to draw a line and move forward because you've dodged a bullet. Tower upside down. Knight of Cups upside down. This wasn't the person for you, okay? That card particularly talks about the fact this wasn't the right person. They're an energy vampire, okay? And you need to stop putting your energy into them and move forward. Okay, right. Do we have any questions on YouTube? I don't think we do. Kaza, that's not true. It's not Ann Summers at the door. They don't knock anymore. They just know to chuck everything in the blue bin. Right. Okay, what have we got? We've got another question here. Beatrice, good morning. Is he going to change his mind? Beatrice, let's have a look. I would say that there is right. So we've got you being disempowered. So it feels like you can't move forward until you hear from this person or until you're sure about the decision that they've made. So it feels like you're stuck in limbo a bit at the moment. And it feels like this is sort of taken it out of you. We've got the Ten of Swords here, which feels like this was a big event. It's like something that's rocked your world and not in a good way and has left you feeling unseated, uncrowned, no energy. Okay. Will he change his mind? I have got him floundering here because I've got the Two of Wands reversed. This is about planning. This is about plans that are a bit shaky and not quite sure. So it feels to me like this situation isn't resolved yet in his mind, because that's the question that you're asking, and that's the context in which we read the cards. So it feels like his mind isn't quite made up yet. So the potential is there for him to change his mind. However, I'll also say to you, this has already taken a lot out of you. This card isn't good. You've been through the mill. Do you want him to change his mind? Wouldn't it be so much better if you were empowered enough to go, well, I don't care what you change your mind to. I'm doing my own thing. You decide what you want, okay? But I do feel that he's wavering in his decision. His mind isn't quite made up yet, okay? So I'm trying not to like give my own advice here and try to just read the cards, but I'm opinionated, so it's difficult not to do that. Right, Wendy, does TY love me? And Layla Berlin, I'll get to you after this. Sorry, I just picked that up. Does TY love me? Does TY love me? Let's have a look. Does TY love me? One of my cats is sitting looking at me here. I would say no. That just sounds a bit harsh, doesn't it? But what I've got here is a card of fantasy and illusion. Okay, so I feel like you need to take off those rose tinted glasses and stop dreaming. But this is also these two cards. We've got the Four of Cups and the Seven of Cups reversed here, which talks about, okay, this is about stop dreaming too much, stop fantasizing too much, see things more clearly than you're actually sort of thinking at the minute. Okay, because what's happening, look at that card, you're missing an opportunity that's right behind you because you're dreaming. This is the card of dreams. You're dreaming of something else, you're missing something that's being handed to you. And then to confirm that, we've got the Three of Pentacles, which is like saying learn your lesson. Yeah, it's saying learn to stop fantasizing about this person, learn to take off the blinkers, stop deluding yourself about them. You need to learn a lesson, the steps here, the steps that you need to go up in order to move forward. And that's about stop dreaming about them. And I mean that in a nice way, like not like don't dream, you know, cast your dreams aside. It's like start to be more realistic. Okay, put your dreams aside about them a little bit and just focus on what are you missing. There's something that's being handed to you relationship wise, because we're talking cups, and you're not even noticing it. Look at this woman sitting with her back to it, not taking any notice of it because she's too caught up in the dreams of what could be with somebody else. Okay, so I can only ask the questions. I wish I could tell you I wish I could tell you good things all the time. Right, Lexi, will me and Frank fix our relationship? Oh, I hate questions like this because I know how important they are to people. And oh, thank you, Deanne. Good morning as well. Will me and Frank fix our relationship? Let's have a look. Right. I feel like it could be. Could be, Lexi. You could be looking at this relationship's fixable. What I've got here, and I'll explain. I've got the Hierophant reversed, the Ten of Wands reversed, but then I've got the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is a really good card for starting afresh with a new relationship, with a relationship, sorry, because it's like that, yay, going forward. And these cards are interesting because the Ten of Swords reverse talks about emotional baggage that needs to be sorted out, needs to be put down. Thank you for that heart made of flowers, G. I don't know what that is. So there's something, Lexi, it needs to be talked through. It needs to be put down. It needs to be, there's baggage here which needs to be left behind before you can get them of like moving forward, the ace, new beginnings of the relationship, there's still something that needs dealt with, because that's a card of burden. And when we're looking at it in context to relationships and getting back with something, it's like, well, there's still something that needs dealt with. It's upside down. You still need to put this burden down in order to reach that goal. Now, with your Hierophant coming out as reversed here, this is like talking about something that's unusual, alternative. And so I feel like the answer to how you achieve this, how do you put down that burden, that emotional baggage, either you or him, or maybe the two of you, could be in some sort of alternative way. So this is a literal example, okay? It doesn't mean to say you have to go out and do this, but you know, there's things like different types of couples therapy, or different types of therapies, like you can go somewhere into a forest and chuck a load of cups and crockery into a big hole and scream and get anger out and things like that. It's like alternative ways, meditation, perhaps doing something together which is unusual, which enables these things to come out into the open in order for this relationship to move forward, but move forward cleanly. All right, because if you move forward without a clean relationship, it's just gonna just gradually get back to the same cycle again, isn't it? So bye, Tashelle, thank you for being here. So what is the alternative route you can choose in order to get to put this to get this burden to release, yeah, so that you can start on a clean slate? But I do feel that that has real potential for you. Okay, we've still got 15 minutes. Will I find a job in the next month, and will it pay well? Desiree, I hope it does. Desiree, I apologize because my pronunciation probably is rubbish. Right, let's have a look. What do we have? Right. Okay, there's a lot of competition for this job. Okay, it feels like the cards have got you moving into something new, because we've got the Wheel of Destiny here. When you ask about a new job, what we've got basically is we've got the potential for destiny to take over. The Wheel of Fortune here is moving forward, and when that happens, it's like the cogs start to turn and things start to happen. But there's competition around this. It feels like in order for you to get this job, you're going to have to beat the competition. So you're going to have to up your game. So it might be like revisiting your CV, or revisiting your interview technique, or just brushing up on things that you should know, or skills that you should have, okay? Because the competition is fierce, but the wheels are going to turn. So I feel like there's going to be interview offers, but the competition will be fierce. So will you get that job? Now, what we do have for you here is 10 of Cups. Now, the 10 is a successful completion, and it's achieving what you want, okay? So I feel that there is the potential there to achieve that new job. And also with it being a 10, sort of ties in with your question. Difficult to answer two questions with three cards, but if I was going to say, well, these cards are looking really favorable for it being a good job, that 10 is a fulfillment, it's the end of a cycle, but the competition is fierce. So Nana, is it? I think brush up on your skills, like get yourself into tip top suitability. Yeah, make yourself the best candidate in every single possible way. It feels like it's going to be difficult to actually oh no, that was the wrong question, wasn't it? Sorry, that it wasn't Nina I was talking to with this, it was the person before. You need to be in your best possible form to get this job, but it feels like it's going to be very rewarding. And now we'll go to Nina. Will I get a better job this year? Being an Aries. Aries are good at new things. Aries are great at new beginnings, at new starts. Okay, let's have a look. And say hello to your cats, Tashelle. My cat's sitting here patiently waiting for me to finish, one of them anyway, so that they can be fed. Let us have a look. Nina, will you get a better job this year? We've got a really good setup here for you, with you being Aries. So how interesting that you said you were Aries, because the first card up here is the Ace of Wands. Wands are fire, Aries is fire. Okay, so we've got a new beginning for an Aries. Okay, but we've now this Aries, this is you, has gone through a lot. Wounded soldier, you've had to put up with a lot. All right, you've had to fight your way through a lot of things, and resilience is one of your biggest strengths. Okay, so yes, that job is coming, and yes, keep the strength. Okay, keep being resilient, because your resilience is carrying you through to this moment, which is the Ten of Pentacles, which really couldn't be a better card to pick with that one for like manifesting that new job. Okay, better job, new beginning for that fire, new inspiration, new path, financial security. Great card for jobs, all right? But it's also that acknowledgement that you have achieved this by being strong and pushing through. So don't let your guard down just yet. Keep the faith. Keep going down that same path, because it's looking really favorable for you. Oh, I like it when it's favorable. Can I change the type of business I'm doing? Mirror. Okay, I've still got no questions on YouTube, which is fine. Everybody's just there for the chat, and I don't have a problem with that. So, Mirror, can I change the type of business that I'm doing? Let's have a look. Yeah, I think so, right? I think what we've got here is I've got you as the Hanged Man reversed, then the Ten of Swords reversed, and then the Fool, all right? Now, the way that I'm interpreting this card in context with your question is you feel like you've hung around too long, because this card confuses me, because it's the Hanged Man. When he's this way, he's the right way up. When he's this way, he's the wrong way up, which means that it's time to stop hanging around, okay? It can also mean that you feel a bit stale and stagnant in what you've been doing, all right? Feels like there'll be more energy going through a change. It also feels like there's been a lot of stress and a lot of sort of negative events associated with what's gone on in the past, which again have drained you and kept you from moving forward. So it might be that you've had other things going on in life which have meant that you haven't had the energy to change the job. Okay, but it feels like now's the time, because then you've got the Fool. Now the Fool doesn't mean you're foolish. Thank you for my funny hat. I don't know what that means. It's great. The Fool doesn't mean you're foolish. The Fool, look at the Fool. The Fool steps forward into new adventures, and without a care in the world. He's inspired. He's confident. He expects success. This is the card zero, his number zero, and that is the cosmic egg. The cosmic egg means that there's the potential for anything. What comes out of an egg? Nobody knows until it hatches, unless you're the farmer of the chickens. All right, so we're looking at a cosmic egg situation where you're being asked, have the strength to step forward, because you don't know what's around the corner. So it's time to stop hanging around, let go of this, what's held you back. Okay, now is time for your energy to move forward. Okay, so go for it. Lynn, will your life get better soon? Lynn, I do hope so. I do hope so. I hope that I pull good cards for you here. So Lynn, will your life get better soon? Yes, because I feel like there's been a relationship that had to go in the past. Is it a relationship with somebody else, or is it part of yourself? I would say it was somebody else that had to go, might have floored you. You feel like it was left behind and it left you feeling devastated. However, what we have for you is a new beginning. I've got a Page of Cups, which talks about a new romance or a new creative time in your life, or just you feeling that youthful energy and that emotional rebirth, right? Starting something new, all right? Feeling that this relationship upset that hurt you becomes finally a thing of the past. It sort of moves away, and you feel the new rejuvenated energy of the Page, and that returns to you your crown, which is you as the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Earth. So could be a Virgo, a Taurus, or a Capricorn, or somebody who is very practical, who has their feet in the ground, like firmly rooted in the ground, somebody who feels secure again, somebody who is financially secure, who feels more in charge of their own life. So these two cards together, okay, look at the two halves in my hand. We've got this reversal, which is about relationships and love and being able to let go and putting that firmly in the past. Then we have a new beginning on the cards for you in terms of love, in terms of creativity and inspiration, which leads to you being that queen again, the Queen of Pentacles, feeling more secure, feeling more grounded. So I hope that helps. And YouTube still suspiciously quiet on the question front, which is fine. Everybody's just there for the chat, and we like that. So what do we have on TikTok? The manic area that TikTok is. Does Dean love me too? Rolene, does Dean love me too? Let us ask the cards and see. Okay. No, I'm going to say that you need to you need to walk out of this prison, because Dean comes out as the King of Swords. Okay, it could be an air sign, a Libra, an Aquarius, a Gemini, but this is also somebody who can be manipulative with words. If they're not one of those signs, it can mean somebody who's got that airy personality. But tying this with this Eight of Swords, it feels like they can talk you into a corner. They can woo you with words, or they can hurt you with words. They can cut you down, and they can leave you feeling like the Page of Wands reversed, which is when you feel deflated and you just can't go any further because you're waiting on them to speak. They're waiting for them to tell you what they want. That's your prison. Look at you there. That's you with a blindfold in a prison of your own making, because you're waiting for them to acknowledge you, sapping your energy, removing that page energy from you. Okay, so what I have for you, because I pulled a clarifier there for you, to move forward, you need to make your own plans. Now, this, if you look at this card, this is you looking into the future, new horizons with the earth, a globe in your hand. That card says literally the world is in your hands. Okay, stop waiting for this guy. You're in a prison while you wait for him. Your life is on hold. Okay, you need to take the power from him and stop him taking the power from you, and then make your plans to move forward. Okay, right. Rizwan, can you tell if an illness is natural or someone sent it? I've been really ill for, let me just, I've learned I can click on this little arrow. Oh, for 5 years. Rizwan, I will ask the cards that, but I cannot give you a medical answer. It depends if are you talking about hex or a curse here, because I'll ask the cards, and if you wanted more details on that, you'd have to contact me on my website to talk about that, because that's quite complex. So I'm going to ask the cards if your illness is natural or if somebody sent it, and then depending on what they come out with, you can choose to do what you want. Okay, so we're going to have a look. I think that the potential here is because of a negative frame of mind. Okay, I don't think somebody sent this illness to you. I feel like we've got two powerful cards here. We've got the Six of Swords reversed, and we've got the Tower reversed, which talks about something bad happened to you, and that energy is still resonating through you. It's like it's still, your body and your soul is clinging on to the negative energy that this event, sort of this seismically sent shockwaves through you. And it's like, there's a great book called Your Body Keeps the Score. I forget who wrote it, but it talks about how stress and anxiety can manifest as illness in your body. I had cancer last year, and this is a book that meant a lot to me. It was recommended by a psychologist. It talks about how dis-ease can manifest through things that you hold on to, trauma that you hold on to. And that's that Tower reversed is talking about a seismic event which might have sent shockwaves through you, which may have manifested as problems with your well-being, because Six of Wands reversed, you haven't left them behind, you haven't moved away from them. It's like you're still living in that trauma state, which causes your body to act in a sort of less than perfect way, yeah, in a lowers your immune system and so on and so forth. So I feel that there is a new beginning available to you. That Ace of Pentacles is a new beginning, but you must learn how to cut ties with what happened to you that's sort of resonating around you. I feel that that is more likely to be causing the problems with your well-being rather than the interference of a third party. That's not what I see on the cards. So I hope that helps you. Fifi. Oh, I missed that. Oh, Fifi, will my relationship with KP get better? Let's have a look and see, Fifi. Will your relationship with KP get better? And then I'm going to come to Namira on YouTube. KP, will your relationship with somebody who I've forgotten get better? I think it will, because we've got the Lovers card for you, which is a pretty obvious one. Even if you don't read tarot, you can see what this means. But I've also got, it's like it's been through a stage of quietness. There's just been a lot lack of energy in this relationship. See this guy, he's in bed, he's having a rest. Sometimes we just need an energetic rest from our partners, and we just need that alone time, or we just need that time apart. We just need to stop pouring the energy into it and just draw apart from for a little bit, even if it doesn't mean splitting up. It's just allowing somebody space to rest. Okay. And then, because we've got the Lovers here, I feel like your question is, yes, I feel the relationship is going to get better. It's either going through or has been through a stage of rest, just a stage where there wasn't much energy in it, but it's going to move forward. Now, also, we've got the Hierophant reverse popping up as well here, which talks about it being quite alternative. So I feel like this is an alternative relationship. It's not traditional. There are things that are unique to the two of you and how you are together. And that's really interesting, because I think when you start to embrace them more, that's how it sort of kickstarts the puts the energy back into the relationship, is trying new things perhaps. So it's that alternative flavor to it. So, but I think that's very favorable to you there. Right, Namira, love to have a guidance card. Okay, I love that. So open-ended, brilliant, Namira, because what should happen now is the universe will hopefully give you some advice that you need to hear. Yeah, interesting. Okay, we've got that Six of Swords coming out again. If you hear from the microphone me go whoosh, like that, to me, literally spreading the cards across the whole table and then just picking them up when they're upside down. So when you see me pick the same card up twice, it's not because I haven't shuffled, because I'm literally like mega shuffling every time. So what we've got here, Namira, is you moving away from a troubling situation or a time of difficulty, okay? It could be a time where you feel like you've been disempowered. We've got the Magician upside down here. So this is when you haven't been manifesting what you want, yeah? When it's like you can't get what you want. Imagine the Rolling Stones song, you can't always get what you want, but sometimes you might just get what you need. Because it feels like moving away from that, you walk towards, or you float towards, I should say, a situation where you get more of what you need than perhaps something that you wanted. Okay, so it's like also ties in with that, be careful what you wish for, because it's not necessarily the best thing for you. So it feels like you might have felt some frustration because you weren't achieving what you wanted to achieve. This is where your Magician reverse comes in. But moving away from that now, you go to a position where you manifest. Now we've got the Three of Wands. This is the creator. This is somebody who takes two things and makes three. Now, I always think of threes like when you put a man and a woman together and they make a baby. It's like the creative force of life, yeah? And wands is fire and energy. So reading these three cards contextually, Namira, we've got you moving to a place now where you start to manifest what you need, perhaps not what you wanted in the first place that led to the frustration, but you're now able to manifest what you need. Look at that card. You're looking over new horizons with that third wand planted firmly in the ground, like this is the way forward. This is where we're going. Right, I'm just going to have to take one more question here, because I'm going to have to go and have coffee with my parents. Will Jean-Michel reach back out to me? Mesmerizy Coco, I think your name is there. Let's have a look. Right. I feel like there is going to be some justice in this situation. I feel like there is going to be a time when karma's playing out. We've got the Justice card here. I've also got the King of Wands. Is this guy a fire sign, or has he got a fiery personality? And I feel like we have got a situation where you need to trust him more, because I feel like he is going to reach out to you, because we've also got a 3, and that's about creation, and it's about a new thing happening as well. So I feel like he's going to reach out to you, this fiery person, but it does feel like justice had to be served. Like there's something that was paid back. Okay, you just have to wait for it to unravel. You have to wait for that justice to play out, and I feel like that contact will be made. Okay, trust is an important thing for you though, so you need to learn how to trust. Right, I am going to have to go, I'm afraid, because we're after 12. So I'm done. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you all on Friday. It's been wonderful to spend time with you. Thank you, YouTube people. I love you all. And thank you, TikTok people. You're all mad as a box of frogs, but I love you too. So bye bye. See you soon. Take care.